NBC Sports welcomes you to probably one of the most exciting and most anticipated races of the season. Brighton High School, today on a Saturday afternoon. At the end of the day, 8 men become 4. After a wild demo derby-filled finish at Phoenix, which approximately 20 cars finished, by the way. We head out to Brighton. It's a 1-mile oval that is wide and you can make a lot of clean passes, but it still acts like a short track at heart. I guarantee you somebody is going to probably move somebody to get to the championship round next Sunday. The weather here, it's supposed to be probably about mid-50s. It's currently 54 right now, as we're about an hour past lunchtime. Right now, it's about 1:30 here locally. It's 3:30 on the east. Jacob Tube looked like he was going to get the pole, but the 78 car of Eric Gamer, aka WUB Network, just barely edged the pull out from under his nose early this morning. So what typical things to expect this afternoon is keep your nose clean, just stay out of trouble, and watch the battle between 4th and 5th. Currently, Jonathan Morrison, he's the only driver in this entire field, or especially in the eliminator round, that can basically have a free ride till Atlanta. He won at Texas a few weeks ago. Hunter Rizzoni won at Phoenix last Friday night. Now, this here is where you're going to see probably the most intense racing all year. Without further ado, let's take a look at your starting lineup. Row 1, we have the Denver Mattress Furniture Row Toyota and the Napa Chevrolet. Row 2, we have the Pennzoil Ford and the Eris Toyota. Row 3, we have the FedEx Express Toyota and the Nature's Bakery Chevrolet. Row 4, we got the Nationwide Insurance Chevrolet and the DeWalt Power Tools Toyota. Row 5, we got the Busch Beer Chevrolet and the Autotrader.com Ford. Starting this afternoon from row 6, we have the Advocare.com Ford and the Interstate Batteries Toyota. Beginning today from row 7, we have the Lowe's Home Improvement Chevrolet and the Target Chevrolet. Starting this afternoon from row 8, we have the Hostile Nation Chevrolet and the LiftMaster Garage Door Openers Chevrolet. While we look through the rest of the field, let's see if we can mic up the 24 car. Jacob Tube in a must-win situation. Hey, Jacob Tube, this is Wally Dolan back up in the NBC booth. You got us? 10-4. Well, you dominated most qualifying until the 78 knocked you off last bit. How do you feel about the confidence of your car today, and could you possibly land a spot in the championship 4? I don't know. We were in the same situation a few weeks ago. In fact, we actually brought the same car and chassis. I mean, the only thing that's different is the colors on the car to the track this week. We brought the same car in Bowman Gray because it's flat and similar. Only difference is it's 3/4 shorter. Anyways, with these 20 laps today, the goal is we're going to try to keep the nose of our car clean, stay out of trouble. Good thing from starting out front, I guess. It's really good thing about starting out front is your nose is clear. Whether if you start mid-pack or towards the back, you're probably going to have to make your way through some traffic. There's going to be a lot of guys fanning out on starts and restarts. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how this race plays out. All right. Have a good one down there. Thanks, Wally. Anyways, with the here's the Circle K race menu this afternoon. 20 laps, 34 cars, 78's on the pole. This is a very interesting race. It's a cold racetrack, so a lot of people are going to kind of cut down on tire pressures. It's a cold day today. Down lower tire pressures. This means we could see some pretty fast speeds going into turn one. The question is, how fast is too fast in this situation? Well, the butterflies of 8 men in this field, I'm sure these drivers are going to have major butterflies in their stomachs right now. 30 from taking on 20 laps around a 1 mile oval. At the end of the day, 8 are going to become 4. Can Jacob Tube get out of his must-win situation and score a win? Or will it be anybody else joining Jonathan Morrison at Atlanta? Or could we see the rest of the Final Four determined by points? It's going to be interesting this afternoon. Pace car makes the dive off pit road, off the racetrack into pit road. And we're green here at Brighton. The 11 to Sports Center Cup Series got real aggressive on the start in the 22 car. He's made his way up to third after putting the bumper to the 88, 3 wide through about the first, through about 3 rows. Off of turn 4, WUB Network leads lap number 1. Jacob Tube settles in third. Looking through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, and Peyton Beasley just got turned around off 2. Right into the 14. Caution flag is going to come out. First yellow of the afternoon is out. Yellow's out. He was running 8th too. Shame, he had a good run. Looked like he had a good qualifying run from earlier this morning. Unfortunate too. Lap 2. Up in 2 laps. Didn't really take that long. Quick yellow. Everybody getting bunched back up. Up for the first restart of the afternoon. These are going to be some intense restarts. Everybody trying to go 3, 4 wide going into turn number 1. Is WB Network's going to bring the field down for the first restart of the afternoon. And pace car is going to be peeling off again. Green flag back into the air. Oh, three wide, almost 4 wide going into turn 1. That doesn't look good. Now keep in mind, this is a cold racetrack. Everybody's just taking a lot of advantage of the grippy tires and the grip. But oh wow, they're banging on each other further in the back. Looks like tire smoke coming off the back of the side of the 48, possibly. Look at this. 3 wide going to the start-finish line. Don't know how everybody's holding onto this. And it looks like back to this incident a few moments ago with the 42 and the 41. 41 just... Ooh, it was almost a little dangerous right there. Oh, that was almost big. Between the 48 car and the 42. Oh, we got a wreck. Front looks like backstretch. That's big wreck. Looks like a couple cars got together and big time damage here for the back of one, and one spun off the bumper of another. Looks like both the Richard Childress cars are involved. There's more involved. Joseph Lombard is the third car. He got into the back of the 3. This was started because the 48 and the 42 got together. The 48 made heavy contact, big contact with the wall, actually. Got in, which caused the 3 to check up and then get drilled by the 43. He spins, and the 31 stops, and the 17 just gets absolutely clobbered right here. Both the cars are in the grass. Right here. Both of them are driving away. But major damage for the 43 and the 17. Looks like Joseph Lombard, could still go. He just mostly got a bunch of hood damage, but Alvin Alonso, his damage is terminal. It's radiator. He's done. Huh. Looks like only 3 cars are on pit road now. And see Joseph Lombard, he's got a lot of hood damage, but at the same time, he can still drive it. Just sometimes the crew from 43 and the 9, both are actually working together quite feverishly to pin the hood down. Further up, the 31 only the 3 are pitting together. They're getting their back fenders of their air cars pulled back out and fixing the rear bumpers of their machines. Machines right here. 31 is driven away. The 3 is still on pit road getting fixed. They've taken the hood off the 43. And meanwhile, they get set for yet another restart in this 4-car scramble that took place off turn 2. 3 of them are going to continue. Alvin Alonso, obviously, his day is done because he drilled the back of the 31 hard. They get set for another restart. Zach Speed is your leader. It has been predominantly a Gibbs-dominated race so far today. Everybody's getting lined up. Meanwhile, Nate Sherman did get on pit road during the stops under yellow to fix the damage. He is going to restart all the way back in the approximately the 30s because of the damage he sustained from hitting that wall. I mean, he hit it square, which he's really lucky he didn't really get much worse damage than he did. And as of right now, you can watch the 8 drivers. Jonathan Morrison, he is marked in green. That means he is advanced to the championship round next Sunday at Atlanta. I'm sorry, next week at Atlanta. And set for the restart. Just before halfway stage of this race, here we go. Oh, they balled up. The 11 does not go at all. Oh, wow. Big time damage to the 88. And into the scramble. Look at the 88 way out of shape in turn one. Oh, right into the fence. Caught up in the oil, and now the caution comes out. This could be devastating for the 88 team. Oh, we hit the 11. Got in the back of the 11 pretty hard. I don't think the 11 was going. Big smoke, big smoke, big smoke. Well, one driver has trouble, another can benefit from it because Nate Sherman needed this caution. Yellow flag number 3 on the day. As the third caution of the day comes out, like the 11 just could. Remember, it's how cold it is. You think the 11 would get the grip, but he spun the tires and just didn't go. The 88 didn't see it and then just drove right under him pretty much. Keep in mind, we are big time damage there to the 88. He is down on pit road. He obviously does not want this to end his day. His crew is working feverishly to fix the car. Oh yeah, it's terminal, guys. We're done. We're done. It's terminal. Big time damage to the 88. They're telling him, load it up. We're done. We're done. Just bring it around. Bring it to the garage. We're done. Well, while we're here, let's go ahead and check our tickets to the race for next week. It is Championship Sunday. Next Sunday, next week, Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is Championship Sunday. After today, when the checkered flag falls this evening, when the checkered flag falls this evening, when the checkered flag falls later this afternoon/evening, 8 are going to become 4. This 4, and those 4 are going to be battling on a really grippy racetrack, one of the oldest surfaces in NASCAR that hasn't been repaved ever. And the first to cross the finish line next Sunday is the champion. The Bass Pro Shops 500 from Atlanta Motor Speedway cards beginning at noon Eastern with a special 1-hour episode of the Scar Card Countdown to Green. Then at 1 p.m. Eastern is the telecast of the Bass Pro Shops 500 presented by Napa Brakes. Time to take a quick commercial break. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
It's amazing. A big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret? You're a man of few words. I like that.
Got it, Bob. You're in luck, because you can get a delicious beefy, big and tasty burger chicken sandwich for just $1 every day at McDonald's.
Purple. Very, very powerful.
NBC Sports welcomes you back to Brighton High School for the running of the Credit One Bank 355 this afternoon. That race is sponsored by McDonald's and by GM Overdrive. Lease $2,002 on any 2002 GM model, whether it be Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Cadillac, or Saturn. Go to your local GM dealer for more details. And by the new 2002 Chevrolet Trailblazer. Chevy, like a rock. After that, quickie yellow with the 88 getting into the wall after punching a radiator. Apollo Moon is standing by with Marty Snyder. All right, you got out of the car. Disappointing end of a championship run. Can you take us through what you could have done? Nothing really. There wasn't much of an escape around the outside. The 11, I'm guessing, just didn't go, or his tires just didn't grip enough on the racetrack, and we just ran in the back. But really, really hate it for our nationwide guys. We came into this race with a lot of potential, a lot of promise. Even though the spring race here was a derby pretty much. We came in here with a lot of promise. We really worked on our short track program this year, and unfortunately, it all basically just was for nothing. Really hate it for our guys. Really hate that we're going to be eliminated off something we can't control, but guess that's life. Apollo Moon walking back to his trailer. Very disappointed about what went down. And then only thing left is to win Atlanta. next week. Thanks for your time. Looks like Paul Moon is going to finish 33rd. Keep in mind there's a couple drivers actually offered to take took no tires on this restart. The 21, the 18, the 27, the 5, the 41, and the 6 have opted to take no tires. Oddly enough, their gamble might actually pay off. The first driver that took 4 is all the way back in ninth place, and that is the 20 of Zach Speed. Hunter Miller is on the front row. No tires versus 2 versus 4. First 3 rows are literally on no tires. They've only stopped for either 2 tires the entire race. They've opted to go for no sets. Of course, as the sun begins to set right now, as you see, there's less light in the racetrack and more shade. So there's going to be a lot of cars trying to fight for that grip extra and going 3-4 wide into turn 1 on restarts. Pace car is off. Hunter Miller brings him down. Peyton Beasley, after spinning on lap 2, is back up in 6th. And we're back green. The 41 car going for a big move on the inside. Big aggressive block on the 4 car of Dylan Murway as they make their way down into turn number 1 again. Big time land rush. And it looks like the 5 and the 18 make more contact. Oh, wow, more contact. Looks like the 5 and the 18 get together off 2. Looks like the 5 saves it. But there's a big rub on the tire of the 5. And looks like he gets going. He's going to have to watch that right front though. And there goes the 5 of Hunter Miller into the wall. Around. Into the fence. Looks like the caution flag is not out. Oh, but there's more piling up behind him. Approximately 3, maybe 4 several cars getting caught up in the aftermath of this. I'm sorry, everybody got out of it. It's big time smoke off the 18 though. The 5 has major damage. He is immediately going to take his car to pit road. Same with the 27 as well. Hunter Rizzoni still continuing to fight for the lead as here as they go down to 1. New leader, 21 of Xavier Sodreska to the point. So far, Dylan Murway is currently sitting in the good. Right now, he is one of the highest chasers. The 24 is second highest, and the 78 is third. The 11 is currently 1 point ahead of his teammate Caleb Hoffman in 5th. If things were to shake up the way they were to shake out, and the race were to end right now, Dylan Murway, Jacob Tube, and Eric Gamer would be in the championship. 4 along with Jonathan Morrison. So the 11, the 19, 48, and 88 would be knocked out. Xavier Sadreska is really beginning to pull away from the leaders right there, as we have a car around in turn 1. Looks like the one car jumping the curb. Oh, a couple more couples got together. Just 3-wide racing gone wrong, I guess. One of them is the one of Grayson Alcevdo jumping the curb. Let's take a look at what happened to this race for 11th gone bad. See, the 1, the 22, they made some significant contact. Then the 1 gets, gets together. And both cars got together. Zox Moon obviously got the worst damage out of that one. She hit the wall pretty good. See the back end of the car all caved in. 8 laps left. Left in this one. This is our 4th caution of the day. Third of this race has actually been run under yellow. And then the rest of the day is mostly been green flag racing and people slamming into each other. Talked about this in Countdown. This race is run pretty heavily like a short track. So in a way, a lot of this is pretty common. A lot of bumping and banging. People tearing fenders. Damn it. Big damage to the 22. Her day is done. The 1 is still going. Car is still going. He actually didn't lose much positions or much time. I'm on when he spun. Got that going. Probably about right in this general area. Keep in mind the 5 with all the heavy damage he suffered, and the 27 and the damage he sustained. Both of them are 2 laps down apiece. The 25 is gotten 1 of his laps back. Now we're getting ready for a quick dash to the finish. Six laps to go. We're going to restart. We have 8 to go now. So cleaning up this, what is our 4th caution of the day. We are now at 6 to go. This has the potential to be a very interesting restart. Jacob Tube is racing against two drivers who aren't even in the chase. If he passes them, it could very well be free spot in the eliminator round, in the championship round next week. So if I'm Jacob Tube, I'd be going for it. Right now. Pace car is off. Getting ready for the restart. Field bunches up. Green flag back into the air. 24 immediately to the inside in turn 1. I don't know. I'm not sure if that was a legal move. I'm going to really check with NASCAR on that. Anyways, what a ballsy move to the inside for Jake, as this just put him into the lead. New leader here at Brighton. Field beginning to bunch up to go. Okay, there's going to be a wreck. I'm calling it. They want a wreck really bad. Because one just got tipped up into the wall. Back there looks like maybe the 18, the 4 got together a little bit. That was almost a pretty big deal. Jacob Tube free of traffic. And contact with 41 as the 41 just got turned coming off turn 4. Off turn 4. And oh, big pile behind. As the caution comes out. Oh, wow. Major damage. Like that was happening for quite a while. The 19 of Caleb Hoffman. Heavy damage, right front damage. As a lot of damage to multiple cars in this incident. You see the 21. He slowed down and just got drilled by the 42 and 14. There you see the 42 sitting in turn 4, up against the wall. And the red, we're going to get a word from NASCAR. We're going to get a red flag on this. As the 14 is stopped. He is being told to stop his car because there's just so much damage. The 41's got some damage. He's down on pit road with it's got left rear damage. I don't think he's got he could really worry about other than maybe the hit from the 19. But Caleb Hoffman, yeah, he's in serious trouble. He better hope the damaged fender really doesn't mess things up. But from the looks of it, the defending champion may not make it to the championship 4 next week because of all the damage. He is on pit road now. The crew is not touching. NASCAR is telling them not to touch the car due to the fact that there's a red flag. The 21 is several stalls behind him. Add 2 more cars to the list of cars behind the wall. Four laps to go. They have waved the red flag. Flag currently. This is the 5th caution turned red right now. Dave. Caleb Hoffman got out the rear said, we got a lot of right front damage. Looks like, and when his crew chief was asked him if the wheel's straight, it looks like it got knocked out of alignment a little bit. Alignment, possible suspension damage on the 19. Anyways, hopes for Caleb Hoffman potentially defending his championship could very well be up in a heap right now, unless we get another major caution. And judging by the way everybody's been beating on each other today, that might not be out of the question. All the damaged cars right now that we're looking at. So we're waiting for this. Anyways, tickets to the race. Next time NASCAR won't be here after Atlanta. Will be later in February at Daytona, where TNT and NBC get to cover Speed Weeks. The first time this year, the Budweiser Shootout is going to be held under the lights. So NASCAR's fastest drivers are going to be doing battle under the lights, figuring out in an exhibition battle, no holds barred. Then the Twin 125s are going to be covered on TNT, and then the Daytona 500 on NBC. And then Fox takes over, and we don't return till Kansas later that season. Kansas and Pocono have swapped dates in favor of Pocono getting an early June spot instead of its mid-July spot after Daytona. The red flag has been lifted, and this means if you're Caleb Hoffman, you quickly work on that damage right front. And if anybody else who got into that, who was part of that incident, things are about to get intense. As you look off in the distance here at the Rocky Mountains as these cars are getting fired back up. How about Nate Sherman too? He's after his troubles early in the race with the 3 and the 31 and causing that wreck. He's actually up. He's actually just inside the top 10 right now, sitting comfortably. In fact, if we have green flag stops, this is going to be a pretty interesting restart. Anyways, without further ado, we are going to be restarting with 2 laps left in scheduled distance. Sun starting to set, the lights really starting to come on. Can we settle it or do we go to overtime? Oh, no. We got a wreck. And they crash behind them. Multiple cars begin in the pileup just past the start-finish line. Peyton Beasley is in it. Hunter Rizzoni, Blake Dillon. Oh, that's big. That just got big. That just got big. And more cars begin to start crashing under yellow right here. So we got a big pile up here on the front stretch and huge championship implications. Jacob Tube spun into the inside, got hit by the 6, jacked up, and into the wall. Well, what we were talking about with Caleb Hoffman and his playoff hopes possibly being dashed after that wreck, he might be back in this thing. He's going to have to hope one of these remaining 4 drivers, in fact, the 88's out with the 24 being out as well. This just really closed the window. Nate Sherman and Eric Gamer are both below the cut line. Both of them want to win. We could possibly see some sparks fly in turn 1. Last time earlier this year, battling under the lights at Brighton, Nate Sherman dove the corner, bumped the 78 up the racetrack in a manner very similar to after that incident. Eric Gamer went up to Nate Sherman after the race and didn't let him know how he felt. With the 78 and the 48 on the outside of each other, what are the odds both of them remember? And remember the incident back on that Friday night in April at Brighton? Do they remember it? This could be an exciting restart. All right. Peyton Beasley, his day is obviously done. The 18 is done. So now we've added approximately 4, possibly 5 cars are going to be taken out of this. And the way I see it, that just took Caleb Hoffman's chances. He was 6th. He got the free pass after that last incident. Now we're down to 22 cars on the racetrack. A lot of banged up race cars. In fact, I think the top 4 of the guys in the top 5 are literally the only drivers in this field that do not have some form of damage. And the plus side about this is we could possibly see a first-time winner out of all this. If you look at the top 10, you got the 83 car of What If Racing. He's never won at all. Jake Basinger has got a top 5 back in season 2. Joseph Lombard, his last top 5 was back at California. Or how about up here in the first 3 rows? Zach Speed has not won since Kansas earlier this year. Back in the early part of June. Now, we're going to go green, white, checkered. First attempt here at Brighton. Green flag. Dead even between turn 1. Looks like the 20 did not get a good start. He's up the hill into the 11. Nate Sherman, 3 chasers, all fighting for a spot in the final 4. We could possibly see an incident develop between one of these 3. As looks like the 48 is going to... Don't know if I clear him just yet. They're as good as they're hoped for. If Nate Sherman were to win in this race, he would be in the championship for Dylan Murway and Ford WB Network in the 78. Both will join the 3 of Jonathan Morrison next week at Atlanta if the race were to stay the way it's at. Off of 4, white flag into the air. 78 down to the inside. All right, looks like we might be seeing a battle between the 78 and the 20. Caleb Hoffman currently sitting in the '78. If the 78, somebody needs to make a move here and make it now. As looks like the 15's to the right. Oh, round goes to 78 off the bumper of the 15. Still no caution. Still no caution. Still no caution. We are still green here at Brighton. I don't know if this may have done anything. Here comes Caleb Hoffman crossing low. Oh, wow. Right to the door of the 43. He just moved him up the hill. As they come off the last turn, Nate Sherman with the season sweep at Brighton gets a shot at competing in the championship as there's a crash behind them. I don't know about this battle right here between the 11 and the 19. I think the 11 might have got him, just barely. As they crash at the start-finish line. Initially, the first portion of this accident, or this last lap drama, started all the way back in on the backstretch with the 15 and the 78 getting together. The 78 is stuck. We didn't make it. That's radio from Clayton Hughes and Cole Pern to their frustrated driver of the 78 WUB network, whose winter net is down. The other car that got involved in this accident is the 9. He slid into the grass. He's destroyed. He actually drove up top of the 83. Nate Sherman. So far, the championship 4 is official. Nate Sherman in the 48. Dylan Murway in the 4. Jonathan Morrison in the 3. And by a bumper, Caleb Hoffman extends his season to fight for a championship next Saturday at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 78 has been knocked out. See, the 4 and the 20 are having a little bit of a discussion about the way things went down on that last lap. Compared to some of the other discussions I've seen between the drivers, this is a relatively friendly discussion. Between the two drivers. We began the race with 34 drivers, and unfortunately the heartbroken ones of this race, WUB Network, Jacob Tube, Sports Center Cup Series, and Apollo Moon will not compete for a championship next Saturday at Atlanta. Cards beginning at noon Eastern on NBC. Here's the 4 that are. And all of these drivers are in war-torn machines. How about Dylan Murway? He got really lucky to not get collected in that last caution. Want more post-race coverage? Make sure to tune in to NBCSports.com, where we are going to be showing a live feed of the race. Also, tune in to NASCAR.com/RaceBuddy, where we interview the championship 4 drivers. Ivers, Jonathan Morrison, Caleb Hoffman, Dylan Murway, and Nate Sherman are going to fight for the championship next Saturday at Atlanta. It is going to be quite the battle for the ages. Nate Sherman enjoying a nice season sweep at Brighton. 3rd win of the year. Could not come at any more crucial time. And clutch in the final round. He came in, one of the drivers in a must-win situation compared to Atlanta or Phoenix last week. Obviously, the damage he sustained in one of the late wrecks. He came into a must-win situation, ran well pretty consistently most of the race. He ran mid-pack after an issue with the 3 and the 31. came back, got himself in the right situation when people really started wrecking each other. Well, tune in next Saturday, noon Eastern, for coverage of the Bass Pro Shops 500 from Atlanta Motor Speedway, where we then at 12:30 p.m. Eastern is the telecast of the Bass Pro Shops 500, presented by Smithfield Foods at Atlanta Motor Speedway. First of those 4 drivers. And first of those 4 across will be the champion.